Humanity and civilization as we know it has taken an absolute beating these last couple of months. Unemployment lines that remind many of Depression-era style breadlines, millions without work, unrest in the streets, police brutality, record high crime, and the cherry on top being a global fucking pandemic. The common man has been beaten down and his spirit has been broken. We were desperately looking for a sign to show that there is hope, any light at the end of the tunnel, and yesterday it finally came, in the name of Bol Bol's debut. He's goddamn gorgeous! Now Bol Bol's backstory is pretty well documented. Born to one of the most iconic, not the best, but most iconic basketball players to ever walk the face of the earth in his dad, Manute Bol. Of course, this legendary song was made about Manute Bol.
What is that? What it take? Why? They'll slam it, cram it, dunk it, jam it like tomatoes in the jar, even candy yam.
Sheck West, take notes, that's how you write a song about a big man. Manute Bol was 7'6", and while I'm not an expert in biology or Punnett squares, I'd venture to think that there was some relation between his dad's height and his current frame of 7'2". Born in 1999 in Sudan, he fled to Connecticut at the age of 2 after his father fled Civil War-torn Sudan after being accused of being an American spy. Yes, you heard that correctly. From there, Bol flourished in the US, eventually becoming a top 4 high school recruit in the country with a few legendary mixtapes to boot. He continued to flourish when he moved on to Oregon to play college ball until he suffered a stress fracture just 9 games into his collegiate career. Still, he declared for the NBA draft, with most people thinking he would almost definitely be a lottery pick, but at the very least, almost a guarantee he'd be a first-round pick. However, NBA front office GMs clearly took the safe approach and decided not to draft a potential Greg Oden, and that is a big guy with a complex injury history. Let's not forget NBA GMs will take drastic measures avoiding big men with feet problems, like drafting Jabari Parker and Andrew Wiggins over Joel Embiid. Bol Bol had a far from ideal draft night, falling all the way to the 44th overall pick, and the clips they would show of him in the green room not being drafted rival any SPCA ad with Sarah McLachlan music in the background in terms of level of depression. I knew many men that cried because of it. Bol Bol sliding was one of the biggest stories ESPN talked about on draft night when it took the rare opportunity to talk about something other than Zion Williamson. He was finally drafted 44th overall by the Miami Heat and immediately traded to the Denver Nuggets, who had executed a clear draft strategy the past 2 years. That is, of course, to draft the best player available regardless of injury history. Now, this high-risk, high-reward strategy deployed by the Denver Nuggets front office showed itself, of course, with Bol, but also at the draft the year prior, taking Michael Porter Jr. 14th overall, a great prospect who would have gone much higher if not for a lengthy injury history, much like Bol. Bol, when drafted, in a very soft-spoken voice, expressed how grateful he was for being drafted and said he didn't realize how many fans he had there at the draft. But he also issued a warning, saying that he wanted to prove everybody wrong. That was on June 21st of 2019, more than a year ago, and more or less the Nuggets have been easing him into G League level competition, as he has, after all, signed a 2-way contract with them. He's only played 8 G League games, which I'll analyze later in a minute. He was briefly called up to the Nuggets, but they had no intention of playing him due to injury management, and his last G League game was in December. They're taking their time with him. Then the pandemic hit, the season was suspended, and Bol Bol seemingly vanished off the face of the earth. Then he popped up on my radar just a few days ago on Twitter, practicing with the new and improved Nikola Jokic as well as the Nuggets, and he looked good. Then, to keep the hype train going, it was announced he would be making his debut as a starter in an NBA game, in a preseason game, exhibition, scrimmage, I don't know what you want to call it, against the Wizards. He would be starting as a small forward. They took off Bol Bol's red shirt and unleashed him onto the world. And thankfully for everyone bored at home that didn't have anything better to do than watch NBA preseason, he balled out. Bol dropped 16 points, 10 boards, and 6 blocks. And to put even more coal into the fire of what is the Bol Bol hype train, he was late to his media sit-down because he was reportedly drug-tested after the game as if he's a Diaz brother or Sammy Sosa. The Bol Bol hype train had left the station, folks. He also played 32 minutes, which is more than anyone played in the entire scrimmage. But not to pump his brakes too much, but we need to be realistic about his future. Am I really saying that just 8 college games, 8 G League games, and 1 good game against the Washington Wizards rejects, yes they do have rejects somehow, isn't enough to crown Bol Bol as the greatest player to ever pick up a basketball? I might be saying that. Let's also mention that this, again, here it is, was the Nuggets starting lineup for the exhibition game, which probably made Daryl Morey's calculator cry. That will not be a lineup the Nuggets will be showcasing in the future, so where does he fit down the road? Well, let's first talk about the good things I did see from Bol Bol. First and foremost, his ability to move up and down the court in a timely manner is pretty effective. He's surprisingly quick for a 7'2" center, and what he doesn't have in speed, he seems to make up in reach and length. In this one game compared to the 8 in college, again, what an incredible sample size, he did seem quicker and more purposeful with his movement. He also is a good shooter and isn't afraid to take deep threes, as he shot 8 in the exhibition against the Wizards, but he only made 2. But in the NBA G League, he shot a respectable 36.4% from deep, which is impressive, but a guy for his size, a modern day big man, needs to have some attributes like that. He also has some passing skills and a dribbling toolkit somewhere deep in his repertoire, although teams will game plan to double him, which will force a lot of turnovers. And based on this small sample size, I think it is safe to assume he's a more well-rounded player in all facets of his game compared to his legendary father. His weakness is definitely his strength. Manute Bol was described by Patrick Ewing as being someone who'd be unstoppable if he put on a little bit of muscle during his career, but that never really happened for Manute. After his initial workout with a trainer, he could only squat a 55-pound rack and bench 45 pounds. Yes, you heard that correctly. After putting on 30 pounds of muscle one summer, one newspaper even said that it still looked like Manute was on stilts. Bol Bol is obviously a lot stronger than his father, but looking at that Punnett square again, it doesn't look good for the prospect of him realistically putting on a lot of muscle in the NBA just from a genetic standard. His family genetics probably rival that of Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi in terms of metabolism. And for someone relied on to protect the rim, that spells trouble. I don't see a scenario where a dominant center doesn't just regularly manhandle him in the paint while Bol's on defense, and on offense utilize their strength to force Bol to regularly take off-balance shots after Bol fails to find or create space in the paint. It's really a shame steroids are banned in the NBA because Bol needs them now more than ever to get to that next level. Ironically, I think 7'2" Bol works better against smaller lineups than big bruising ones. I think he could be a very productive big against teams without a pronounced center, but with one I see Bol doing very little damage. Having said all that, he really is a new kind of player in the NBA, a 7'2" floor spacing big who can shoot and has pretty decent handles. The Porzingis comparisons are inevitable, and I think Bol Bol will have a decent career in the NBA at some capacity. As far as what we'll see from Bol Bol in the bubble, well, the Nuggets organization have been using him cautiously all year, and I expect that to continue. He very well might get some action when the regular season starts, but when the playoffs starts, I expect him to completely disappear. The Nuggets are the 3 seed in the West, contending for a title, and putting Bol out there against a playoff caliber NBA team is risky. Also, since Jokic transformed into a Serbian beefcake the last few months, he's in much better shape and will need a lot less rest. What is his future like with the Nuggets? Where will they play him? Would they put him at the 4 and Jokic at the 5 moving forward if he does get substantial minutes? Can he play the 4? Can he play the 5? We'll have to just wait and see. But now let's talk about the star power he has. Bol Bol might be the most memed NBA player but non-NBA star since Alex Caruso. The man can't breathe without NBA fans freaking out online. You always hear the cliche about someone so iconic in sports and history really that they go by just one name and everyone will know who you're talking about. You got Jeter, Jordan, LeBron, Hakuho, Ichiro, Iverson, Hoos. But how about a guy that goes by the same name twice? Bol motherfucking Bol. Now that's an icon. Everyone loves Bol and wants him to succeed, and honestly if you don't, you're kind of a scumbag. Bol Bol very well may be the new face of the NBA meme community, and honestly, being a meme right now is a pretty good spot to be in, as meme magic is very, very real. Just check the stock market. Alright, that is it, my video on Bol Bol. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. I will be cranking out content during the quarantine season in the bubble. Don't worry, several videos a week. I'm so fucking bored, I got nothing better to do. Check out the website. Don't check it out right now because it's currently down, but give it a week because GoDaddy sucks. Give it a week and come back. Check us out on social media here, and that is it.